connecting. Alright, we should be reporting live. What's going on? What's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Voice of the Arab podcast. We are here live with our new special guest. We're gonna let him present himself for y'all tonight, man. Let's go. Come on.
How you guys doing? My name is Salif Fofana, and my Instagram handle is at International Salif. Some people call me Bitcoin Salif.
All right. As y'all know, what's up, y'all? My name is Booba Wadi. Instagram handle at Boo Wadi. Yeah, let's get this started. I'm excited.
Perfect, man. All right, Salif, man, it's good to have you here, man, for real. So, we want to get a brief intro from you, we want to know about your background, like where you from, man. Want to hear a little bit about your upbringing and stuff like that. What made you into the Salif that you are today, and at least describe to us who is Salif. People would like to know that for sure.
All right, gotcha. Absolutely. So, I was born in Libya, August 3, 1984,
Yeah.
and until I was about 2 years old. Then I went to Mali, West Africa, in Bamako. That's where pretty much my entire family is from. My mom and dad, my grandparents, and all 24 aunts and uncles on my dad's side. And
Shit, I thought mom was about, man.
Nah,
We 17 deep.
Yeah, see, I can relate in about 8 aunts and uncles on my mom's side, so about 32 aunts and uncles.
Okay.
Over 50 to 60 first cousins. So, yeah, that's pretty much how my family is. Then I came to the United States in 1990 when I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
And of course, I spoke no English at all. All I understood at the time was Bambara, some French, and some Arabic.
Yeah.
And then, so I was the first generation of my culture, I would say, here in America, especially New York City.
Yeah.
So, I was the first of everything. So I had to look myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
And
Were you the oldest?
no, so I have an older brother.
Yeah.
So I'm the second oldest in my family. So I have 2 younger brothers.
Okay.
And but I was the first to come here from my family as the young out of the kids. So I compare myself to all my cousins. So I have a lot of older cousins and some younger cousins, but I was pretty much the first one to come. And then months and years later, a lot of them start coming.
Wow.
Yeah, so it started with me. I was the original blueprint of it.
Okay.
So how was the life experience growing up in an African household, being fresh from Libya, coming to America? What was the experience like? Did you like it, or was it hard fitting in and getting to understand the language and stuff like that? How did that go for you?
Okay, that's a great question. So as far as with me, so my grandpa kind of gave me a little bit of blueprint. So it was his. He had a plan as far as wanting to create his own tribe, which is why he had 4 wives and had 24 kids on my dad's side. So he had a vision. So when I came here, he was like, "You're gonna come to a new country where you don't understand the language, and but just put it in your head that everyone works for you." So that was pretty much my mindset. So when I came here, fitting in was not even on my mind. It was okay, since so you feel like you own the place.
Yeah.
So naturally, you just build a confidence that's already there. And then so that's pretty much how it started. And then me understanding the language took about a week.
Yeah.
Because I was going to school, and then I was surrounded by kids, so I'm speaking to them in Bambara. So I'm saying I need to make a barake. I need to make a kanisebenige. So I was speaking in my language. They had no clue what I was
you're
saying.
Yeah.
But they gravitate towards me. So the teacher kind of was like, okay. So my mom came. She's like, "What is your son saying? He's speaking in Bambara, but none of the kids understand what he's saying, but they're intrigued by it.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence. Where does he get this from?
Yeah.
So then my mom asked me like, "What would you tell them what to do? I mean, to say?" I was like, "Mom, I was trying to get them to do some work for me, and so they didn't understand what I was saying. So within a week, and I had a lot of frustration because they didn't know what I was saying, so they was around me. So within a week, I kind of like just tapped in and started like understanding a little English, and I spoke a full sentence, and then from there on in, it kind of, then I started, English became a little bit simple for me.
Okay.
That's different. So my experience on that and stuff like that, I was getting into fights with people because they I couldn't. So I was born here and then I went to Ivory Coast.
Okay.
And I was like there for like 4 years. When I was like 5 years old, when I came back to the first war. So when I came back, I only knew French and Bambara. That was it.
Okay.
I'm trying to speak. I ask for booty scratcher. I can't say nothing. Then it get into a fight.
Okay. So
I'm surprised you was able to like. They were able to.
My upbringing is different from y'all because
Okay.
I was born here, so I was able to be comfortable to speak English.
Okay.
But at home, my mom's speaking French to me, my dad's speaking French to me, so I'm understanding French.
Right.
But like, I didn't have other people that understood French, so I was just always speaking English. Yeah, but I'll be tight sometimes because it's just like, y'all know the other languages so fully well, and I don't even know it like that. You feel me? And I'm still trying to like learn it, and it's just tough. But once you like actually put your mind to it and really want to learn something, then you're gonna get it. So
that's
I'm
for
glad
sure.
that you got that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fact.
But so your experience, a lot of my cousins had that experience. Yeah, and
Wow.
even your experience, I
Yeah.
had cousins that had that experience.
yeah.
So when it was coming here, a lot of them was getting into fights because of the language barrier, and then so with me, like I think mine started with confidence. So they couldn't really talk like that to me because, like for instance, they was infatuated with pop culture.
Yeah.
And so my grandpa already gave me the blueprint. So he was like, okay, never worship another human being. And so, it took me about a month about 3 months to realize that nobody works for me. But once he said it and I came, so my confidence was already there. So
It was already shot up.
you couldn't take that away from me. So now the insults didn't bother because it's just words.
Yeah. And you
then-
already know who you
And I
are.
already know who I am.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm like, okay, you speak this one language. I speak multiple languages. You know what I'm saying? So with me, I actually took the African culture with pride. So, of course, I understood, the Jordans. You get the, so anything that was cool. I was fortunate to have because I used my family to get the things that I want. So I'm like, okay, I want these Jordans, but then I'll wear that with the African clothes.
Yeah.
And then so they're like, what the hell you wearing? I'm like, yeah, this is the culture. They're like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, what the hell is that? Like, yo, this is I've never seen this.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's only one way to get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta be, you gotta be in with the culture. So with me, I always had that pride, and I never wanted to lose the culture. So like, I'm like the 1% that understands 100% the American culture because I was raised here since I was 5, and I'm 38 now, and I also understand the Mali culture, 100%. Usually, based off my on my cousins and uncles, even uncles, right? Some of them either have the African culture 80-20 or the American culture
80-20, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So no one really have like both equal, like 50-50.
Yeah.
So I took pride into that and like, okay, I'm never gonna lose my African culture, and then I'm also gonna understand. And I understand both, at a very high level.
Yeah.
So so I won't get lost in the sauce. Because some people come here. Like I have cousins that came here as teenagers and completely did a 360. They
Forgot the language and
They
the
forgot
culture.
the language and the culture. They straight Americanized, right?
Yeah.
And then I have some who was been here, was born here, went to Africa and just never adapted to the American culture.
culture, yep.
So I just understood culture and I respect all cultures.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's pretty much how I kept the balance.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get to the real reason why you're here.
Okay.
So I see that you into crypto and investing. For me, like one of the big questions I got is what got you into crypto and investments, and how do you know when to tap into the market? Because for me, I think it was around COVID or before COVID.
Okay.
I was utilizing Robinhood. I think we all did.
Yeah.
And you know, I had a group chat with a couple friends, but I would just invest into anything, you know,
Okay.
and I would see percentages going up. I'm like, oh, I'm getting money, you know, and you know, I would get some losses too, but I was seeing more wins than losses. But I just didn't know when to tap into the market and what to invest in correctly, which investment was good. So like, when is it the right time to tap into the market? Which investment should you invest in that you think will help benefit somebody instead of taking major losses? And how can somebody come back from a major loss in investing in crypto?
The question you asked was a good question.
Yeah.
The first question I'll say like would be perfect for people to like really see and notice too. What you is like I want you to like give a descriptive detail of what it is that you do, and like how do you do it. Put it that way first, and then after that you can answer like the
Okay.
question of what he's basically saying, so people know exactly who Salif is.
Okay.
And what he does.
Okay, so with me, I created my business called the Halal Way. So, you know, I just wanted to tap into, you know, the culture. So, you know, halal means
Everything
honest,
pure.
pure
Yeah.
or blessed in English. So I just wanted to use that as a, you know, as a universal language.
Okay.
And so with that, that's just the name of my business. So my business is diversified. So I have I'm gonna be doing like high volume infrastructure development in Mali, and in some parts of Africa, and also here in the United States. And also I trade stocks and crypto. So now how I got into stocks was when I got to college. One of my professors. Let me take you back. So after high school, I graduated high school 2002. So me, LeBron, Mark Zuckerberg. So we all the same age. We was born in 1984. Okay, so we're all 38 right now. It's 2023. So at the time, I wanted to go. You know, you couldn't tell me I couldn't go to the NBA. I mean, for sure, if I would have still played ball, I would have at least played one season in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because I know the work ethic and I know the blueprint on how to get there. You know, you gotta. I mean, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. But so we lost in the championship game in high school. This was this was 2002, right? So I went to Morris. First, I went to Walton High School from '98 to 2000. And I wasn't doing too well there.
Okay.
And then my uncle was the chemistry teacher at Morris High School in the Bronx. So I transferred there because I was failing in chemistry. And let's just say, once I got to Morris High School, I started getting A's in chemistry. I learned chemistry immediately. I sat in front of the class because my uncle was a teacher, so I couldn't
mess around.
I couldn't mess around and be a class clown or skip class. So that kind of was a blessing to me, because it kind of trickled down to my entire schoolwork.
Okay.
And then I also played for the basketball team. So when I got there, the school was terrible in basketball. They was in the B division. They haven't made to the playoffs for over 20 years. I got there my first year, we went to the playoffs. My second year, we almost went undefeated. Then we lost in it. We went all the way up to the championship. We played against Wings Academy at St. John's.
Wings is tough.
Yeah, that was this was back in 2002. So we lost in the championship game.
Yeah.
And then so after that, so I'm like, okay, what's next? And then so I seen an article where LeBron got $90 million from Nike.
That was his first deal, right?
Right. That was his first. Before he even entered the NBA draft.
Yeah.
He just declared that he's gonna go to the draft. And then Nike, he signed a contract for $90 million with Nike.
Okay.
And then guess how much Nike offered me? Just take a wild guess.
$1 mil?
Okay, what you think?
Wait, this is when
LeBron got the $90 million. This is when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So LeBron got $90 million offer from Nike.
so he got offered $90 million.
Yeah, and he signed for $90 million.
Wait, quick question before I even answer that.
Yeah.
Wait, did you get a D1 offer or did you get an offer for the NBA?
Nah, let's just stick to the Nike part.
Alright, stick to Nike, bro. LeBron. Wait, how nice was he though? Did y'all win the city championship?
Nah, we lost. We lost in the championship.
Oh, y'all lost in the championship. So
Yeah.
LeBron and them?
No.
Oh.
I have zero relationship with LeBron.
Okay.
Because LeBron was in a different state.
Yeah, he's a different state, but
Yeah.
he was more, so
Alright, cool. So LeBron got 90 mil.
Yeah.
LeBron was that nigga.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? At
Yeah.
that time, he was that guy.
Definitely was the
You know
best
what
high
I'm
school
saying?
player.
Alright, so I'm gonna say if LeBron got 90 mil, that's OD though. Damn, 90 mil?
Yeah, before he even played NBA, which is ridiculous.
That's
Yeah, that's a
exposure.
crazy price. I'm gonna say probably under 1 mil.
Okay, so I got $0. They offered me $0, and that was my last day playing basketball. Cause I was like,
Damn.
I just put it. See, for me, I was like, okay, LeBron got 90 million. I'm because I like to compare myself to people of my age,
Yeah.
right? Just to measure, right? So okay, I'm like, all right, LeBron got 90 million. Nike offered me $0. So I'm doing the skills. I mean, the statistics. Okay, for me to go to the NBA is only about 400 slots left. NBA draft at the time we were I think like 30 teams or 32 teams. Okay, that's 32 players to go first round, and then 32 players to go second round. That's about 64 players out of millions of athletes around the world. That's been training their whole life, and I'm about an average height. I'm about 6 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, so I said, all right. So I just did the math in my head. I'm like, all right. So the work ethic that is going to take me to get to the NBA. So I'm gonna have to shoot 1,000 jump shots a day, every day. I gotta put all this hard work and dedication just to be considered. Right? Just to be considered. Not even you gotta do this on your own time, right? Because at least if I would've got like a few million from Nike, then I could like, okay, you got some motivation, you're going somewhere. But you get $0.
Yeah.
And so I just woke up real quick. I was like, all right. So I think I'm gonna stop playing basketball and put that work ethic into myself and my own business. Because then I felt like if I use that in business and invest in myself, that I could be I have a chance of being a billionaire without playing basketball. So I just gave myself those odds and just said, okay, this is my last day playing basketball. Like on a competitive level, because I was passionate about playing it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take that passion away from basketball and put it into myself, so I could and then find my niche in business. And then I'm gonna apply the same work ethic. So instead of shooting 1,000 jump shots a day, what I would do now is put in 10,000 hours of research or 10,000 hours of just finding information on things that I like to do. And then be successful in that.
Okay.
So I just used the same work ethics, but just applied it in a different avenue. So then when I got to college, I went in there as an architect major because I wanted to be a developer and a builder. Because since my family has a lot of land in Mali, I was like, okay, since we own land, so I'm just gonna learn architect and
Try to build
on the land that we own. So then while I was in college, I got introduced to stocks, and then I was very curious about that. Then I just seen how wealthy people was becoming like expeditiously. So I asked my professor, so like, what is stocks and how can I learn stocks? How can I get into this? So he taught me the basic fundamentals, and then I took that information, applied it, and I had a friend whose father owned a hedge fund in New York. So and then I inquired about that, and then he was like, yeah, stocks. You got billionaires here, you got millionaires here. So then I was like, oh wow. So that's how I started getting into stocks. So then once I got into stocks, I was pretty good at it, because I kind of took all the information that I learned through professors and also my own research.
Yeah.
And so then I just applied it myself.
Okay.
And some of the money that I made for myself, I just applied it to into some decisions that I was making as far as investments. And then after that, so while in college, learned stocks, so you got nothing but free time.
Yeah.
Then I heard about crypto, and I heard about Bitcoin. So once I learned about Bitcoin, I started paying attention to the numbers. I seen it was fluctuating. It was like $1, then it was like $2. So it kept fluctuating. And at the time, you had certain stock prices that was like $100, $400, $200. So I'm like, okay, this is stocks and this is crypto. And it was at a much cheaper rate. So I'm like, okay, I think this might do something. Because once I realized that no one knows who created Bitcoin,
Oh yeah.
I was like,
never gonna find out.
yeah, especially now. So, but at the time, no one actually knew who created it.
Yeah.
So it's something called ethos, where if you want to invest in stocks, it's more about the credibility, right? So you want to invest in Apple, so what we look at, everyone has their own technique or analytical skills on why they buy stocks.
Yeah.
You could be part of a company and they might offer you stock shares. You can invest in a company, they might offer you stock shares. Or some people might look at the market cap to see how much money is in the company. Some people might look at what the company actually does. So with me, I look at the basic fundamentals. So before I invest in anything, I just look at the things that I use myself.
Yeah.
So first, you got to be honest with yourself. Like for instance, I ask myself, what can I live without? Why do I need this phone? So it's Apple. So Apple is so I like iPhones. Okay, I could go on the internet. It's efficient. I could also FaceTime. I could go on apps. So I'm like, okay, I guess I can utilize this, and I'm sure it's like a million of me out there.
Yeah.
So that's like a no-brainer for me to invest in.
Yeah.
Something like an Apple, because I use it every day. And also I look at their cash flow. I look at their market cap. So they got over $2 trillion. So especially when COVID was here, that also would give you an idea of what type of company you should invest in.
Yeah.
Right. So some companies went out of business, right? Some companies stayed in business. Some companies did very well during COVID.
Yeah.
So you just put in your head, what company, where would you want to put your money that you're not going to lose the money? So that's like a basic fundamental on what stocks to invest in.
Okay.
And then now with crypto, it's all about ethos. So it's all about credibility. So first you find so fast forward to now, 2023. We at a time where you have so many platforms where you could actually buy stocks and hold it. So the time when I was into stocks, you had to call in. So you have to call a broker. Okay, buy this stock.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I can only imagine.
Right, so you got to get a stock
Wolf of Wall
certificate.
Street, bro.
Yeah.
Right, so you get stock certificates, and then that's how you know you own a stock. Now I'm sure you guys don't know what a stock certificate is, right?
No.
Because you just go in the app, you buy the shares, and so Robinhood is a good app because they got the ethos, they got the credibility. You got Fidelity, you got E-Trade, right? So you got a lot of accounts where you could just log on, subscribe, and then you could just transfer money from your bank account to the platform, and just buy the stocks, and you actually will own the stocks. So as long as you have a platform that has credibility, so your money's secure, and so you pretty much in the game. And now, how to get in? So there's really no right or wrong answer. It's basically based on some people read charts, but I have friends who've done very well in the marketplace. I have one friend right now. All he does is option trades.
I gotta do that too.
Right. So all he does is option trades, and he doesn't read the charts at all, because that's his strategy is, why would I read the past tense? I want to know what's happening,
Going on now.
what's going on now, and what's happening in the future. And then you have most people that does technical analysis, they study the charts, they study the history.
Yeah.
So when to get in is pretty much, that's
when the market down.
yeah. When the market is down, right, you buy the dip,
Yeah.
right? Meaning like if the value, if this, so for me, if the peak is like was $1,000, and right now it's at $100. So and there's a company that has over $2 trillion in market cap, meaning like $2 trillion in cash. So you know they're gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
So if they had $100 now and its peak was 1,000, maybe it might get up to at least $200, right? Because you seen it, you seen where it can go.
Yeah.
So if it's at $100, I would think that's a discounted rate, and you could buy the shares and hold. And then once it gets to a price that you like, you can sell.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a basic fundamental that I can give you.
Okay.
Because another thing in stocks is one of the secrets is, well, it's not really a secret, but no one knows what the stock is gonna do. No one.
Yeah.
From Warren Buffett to a new trader, no one knows. All you can do is make an educated guess.
You take that risk.
Take that risk.
So
A
question I like to ask is like, that's a good question that I feel like would be perfect for a lot of people who are trying to get into stock. Would be like, how can an investor optimize like their investment strategies in the stock or maybe cryptocurrency market, or like try to see if they can maximize or minimize the risk as much as possible. 'Cause people, everybody want to invest money, but nobody really want to lose money. So,
Right.
what are strategies that you've actually taken to which you were like able to minimize the risk that you took?
Okay, very good question. So that's what I'm studying now, which is technical analysis. And now you can minimize risk by using the charts, and also you can trim. So you can use a stop loss. So what a stop loss is, it's a percentage or a certain amount of dollars that you do not want to lose. And once it reached that number, it would trigger it to sell automatically. And also, to minimize risk, if you buy stocks, and let's say it goes down, if you don't, so because once you own the stock and you believe in the stock, and let's say it's like an Apple or something like that, you think it's going to be around 100 years from now, so you could just hold, right? Just think long term. And then those type of stocks you can minimize risk, or especially stop loss will be your best friend to minimize risk, which is meaning to not lose money.
So, quick question. So, stop loss is mainly like a buy in and buy out type of thing.
Right. So stop loss would be, let's say you buy a stock at $100. And you want to set your loss at $98.
Okay.
So if you lose $2, you're automatically going to sell at 98. So that's a stop loss. Now, if it rises up to $200, so your stop loss, it didn't reach your stop loss.
All right. So in that aspect, I know what you mean, because I used to do the same thing with like, what's this thing called? It's KOT. It's like the forex exchange market.
Okay.
That they use. So what we used to do was like when we're buying the stock, and the same thing applies to even like with crypto, where you're buying it, you have a setup for like a buyout price of how much you're willing to make of a profit and how much you're willing to lose.
Exactly.
So from there on, you can actually minimize how much you're willing to lose and how much you're willing to make for them to sell.
Right.
So that's what you mean with that.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of patience. Like, you really have to be on.
And that's the thing, people don't got paid.
Yeah.
People don't got paid.
Because sometimes you could your gains could be, you might say, okay, sell it at $200, and it might go up to $500. So you over there scratching your head, oh my God.
Nah, like damn, I took
Basically,
like
too early.
Too early.
Yeah, I've been there. It hurt.
And then now you want to chase that, and then they just keep dropping and dropping
Yeah,
and dropping.
yeah.
And dropping. So that's it. It takes a lot of patience and discipline.
So what are like the benefits and like the drawbacks from like investing in the stocks of like crypto? Like, what are the benefits and the drawbacks? What do you think?
The benefits is you can make a lot of money, and the drawback is you can lose a lot of money. So Those are pretty much the two basic fundamentals of it. But also with stocks, long term, you could pretty much do well, depending on which stocks you buy. That's the benefits of it. And then the drawback could be some companies could be sold, and then they could go out of business, and you can lose your stock. So you gotta really pay attention to what companies you're buying. And so you gotta really be tapped in.
So what would you say like are like the latest trends that are emerging that you think people should like follow suit in when it comes to stocks or crypto?
Well, with crypto, I just focus on two of the cryptos at this particular time. Well, Bitcoin, of course, is the
main one.
Is the main one.
Yeah.
But then you have a lot of different cryptos. So, like Dogecoin, I think that might do something. You know,
I kind of lost hope on
losing hope is fine, but because it was
It was going up at a point.
It was going up until Elon Musk.
Bullshit.
See, that's the difference between Bitcoin and Dogecoin. See, Bitcoin, there's no face.
Yeah.
Right? There's no who created Bitcoin. Everybody had their own speculations. So and then it's all about the blockchain with the Bitcoin. Now Dogecoin, that's like an altcoin. So you got a lot of people that created that and stuff like that. So those are the two, but there's a lot that's out there. Some people are making made a lot of money on Shiba.
Shiba Inu.
Yeah, Shiba Inu,
I
right?
that one too.
Yeah,
Like
so,
millions.
This crypto that I had got a while ago is called Elongate.
Okay, yeah,
Elongate.
there's a lot of them there.
I had acquired over 50, I believe. 532 million shares of that. Yo, it's like less than a penny.
Okay, see?
Elongate is less than a penny. So just imagine, I got, let's just say I got 500 and, I had 532 or 34 million shares of that, right? If it went up $1,
Exactly.
that is $5 million and 300,000 and 20-some thousand dollars.
Yeah.
If it goes up 1 penny, that's
One
it.
penny. Yeah,
That's
one
all I
penny.
need.
Yeah.
All I
One
do is
penny.
put $500 in it.
Yeah, 1 penny. Now, if it goes to $1, now you're in a different bracket.
Feel me? You're a multi-millionaire right there.
Yeah, multi-billionaire.
though.
Yo,
So that's how. That's how.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are in the game.
Yo, but the thing is too, right? So, alright. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just ask this before I even give my take on it, right? So, what would be like a good cryptocurrency exchange that you feel like is the future and it's something that people should invest in? And then not only that, right? What is also like a perfect stock that? Because I know you already said that utilities are the best option. That's the same thing my brother even told me too. Like when you're about to invest in certain things that people need. Things that people are going to use on a day-to-day basis. Don't always go based off of something that's just only trendy today and tomorrow
It's
nowhere.
failure. Yeah.
So what is like certain crypto currencies that you feel are the future, and then also what are like the stocks that you think that is something that people will always need that everyone should or probably invest in? But like we're saying right now, look, it's at your own risk if you do invest in this. So we're not telling you this is what you need to invest in. We're just suggesting certain things that you need to look at. And with that being said,
Yeah. So now, as far as crypto, it's so many out there, but right now I'm only focusing on two, which is Bitcoin and Dogecoin.
Okay.
Those are the two that I'm focusing on. And but there's a lot that's out there. You know what I mean? So
Like safe.
yeah, there's so many that's out there. And also with the crypto, you want to make sure you're on the right platform. So once it reaches like the number that you like, you'll be able to cash out. And then now for the stocks, I think Apple is here to stay. Tesla looks like it's here to stay. Amazon, of course, yeah. So those three companies right there have over trillions of dollars of market cap, and they survived during the COVID. So they look like they're gonna be here for a while. So those companies right there, those three right there, it looks like they're gonna be around for a while. And you also have Nvidia, that's doing well. So those I would say. Oh, and then you have Meta. I think Meta is gonna change the game also.
Oh, the
Metaverse.
the
Yeah, Metaverse.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know,
with Facebook.
man.
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
don't know.
I kind of do believe it too, because if you even look at it, like the metaverse is completely different than what Facebook has. Completely, Facebook created its own meta
Yeah, they created their
to
own
try to
Meta.
match the actual metaverse. And I know certain people who actually bought land in the metaverse,
In it.
and that land that they acquired in the metaverse is like worth damn near 6 figures.
Yeah,
like, they
'cause-
own land in Manhattan. In the
Yeah,
metaverse.
in the metaverse. Because the reason why I think the metaverse is gonna do well, because in the future, just think about it. When you're on Instagram, right, your icons, right, your like even when you're chatting, the people use all these emojis, right? That's just like a light introduction to let you know that the metaverse is gonna do something. Like now you can change clothes in the even on Instagram. Like you put an icon there, you can change the avatar. You can change the clothes on avatar. So you might get bored with this clothes, then you get bored with that clothes. Some people actually purchase clothes. You know what I mean? So that's like a light situation. And then you got like games like Call of Duty. People go crazy over. So once you're in it, like let's say once you're in the game, then you're gonna start investing a little bit more. And next thing, like look, right now people are buying blue checks,
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, you paying $15 a month for a check.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's just for you to put your picture somewhere and have the credibility, right? Okay, so that means you have a likely potential to be in the metaverse, because now once you actually know what the metaverse is all about and you're actually interacting with people like Zoom meetings, right? You got people that just do Zooms on a laptop or a phone. Okay, now it's gonna get to a point where someone's gonna have a metaverse, have a round table, right? And then their avatar show up, and based on your avatar is how the CEO of a company might take you serious. You're like, okay, you come in with a suit and tie and this
Based on what
avatar,
watch you wearing.
right? In the
How your hair
avatar,
looking.
you're like, oh, okay, I see your real estate, so you willing to spend this money on this, so here
Yeah.
goes $1 million. So I mean, because everything going digital,
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that's a fact.
you know. Now
That's
you
a
got
fact.
Dogecoin, you got Bitcoin, and then now you have the reason why a lot of people don't. Well, clearly they're starting to see the numbers now, but in the beginning, people were skeptical of Bitcoin because it wasn't FDIC insured, right? The feds don't know. They don't know how to regulate
How to
it.
control it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't. So anything right now that's in the United States of America that's over $10 million in value goes to the CIA. Right. They got to be able to control it just so it can't be used against them. And then once they understand the
We're
whole.
gonna say them boys.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Say them boys. You can edit that part out. So once they know it. Because that's just off the safety of the situation and of the country. I mean, and yourself also. So once it's secured, they know the blueprint on how things work in and out. Then it's to the masses, and if the people love it, you're gonna reach your full potential. Now, things that can be regulated, of course, you're gonna be skeptical of it. You know what I mean? So. That's pretty much how that goes. So that's why I think the metaverse is going to be here for a long time, because you got presidents, you got people becoming presidents utilizing social media.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? We got Obama's the first one to do it. Then Trump took it to the next level. You know, so and people are getting married on Facebook, right? People are meeting each other on these
Yeah, these
Instagrams,
apps,
on these
yeah.
apps. So it's actually happening right in front of us. So it's inevitable that it's gonna get to a point where you could just sit in your house instead of a Zoom meeting.
You know,
Is in the metaverse.
It's funny I can say that, because even if you look at it, right? So even if you look at like social media, the internet, all of these things that like we're all engaged in, like it develops the same dopamine that you get from either drinking,
Yeah.
smoking, weed, all these other things that get you high. Social media literally gives you the same high. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Lights.
You gotta look at it this way. How hard is it for you to even leave your phone down and not look at it?
Yeah.
Like when you don't look at it, you feel depressed or something. Like, it's weird.
And even think about it now. You got now people actually spitting their heart and passion
Yo.
through a phone, telling you what to do telling you how upset they are, and people live and die off that.
Yeah.
Off of FaceTime, off Facebook, off a selfie, like, oh yeah, this is what you said about me. Look at the rappers right now, right? The entertainers. Oh yeah, this is what you said. This is what you said about me. Okay, and then push a button. So, do you know how much how much energy? Just think about it. You're in a house by yourself. You're in a mansion by yourself, right? You know how much you have to do to pick up the phone and push. You gotta first of all go to the app. Then you gotta push the button, and then you gotta hold it up, and then you spit in your passion like, oh, this and that, and then you put it down. And then it goes, and then millions of people like it or not, or people comment it or they react to it, and then that person says, what? That's what they said, and then they do the same thing. Pick it up, push the button. Do you know what you gotta do? Just to go through all that, and then you got to make sure your phone is charged.
Facts.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all the things that you have to make sure you're doing, right? And then you got to make sure you got Wi-Fi. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you go and then give your information. So
then you gotta look at it too, like, yo, like, the amount of power you have with social media is amazing too. Because at the same time, like, it's like, yo, like, you got your own page. On your page, if you don't like somebody, they say something you don't like, okay, word, I'm gonna show you how I run this shit. I'm gonna block you. Boom. You can't tell me nothing. So it's like, it gives you a level of authority, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people seek that. A lot of people seek authority. They seek control. They want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, have that power. So social media gives that to people. Which is why you see, like, social media is literally the future. Even this new movement that we have with the AI and stuff. Remember, we like, it's crazy even with that, because we remember seeing this in the movie, iRobot, with Will Smith.
Yeah.
Now we see the whole thing is coming to reality right now, like, where the AI is literally the future right now. And it's dangerous and it's scary because of the things that we do see that's happening. People are using it for, like, to scam people, whatever. So in these situations that you see, like, it's beneficial, but it's also detrimental at the same time.
Yeah.
Because you can get addicted to it. It's like we said, that dopamine, once that shit hit, it's a rush that you just desire. You just want to keep having it.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. So, all right, so we're going to get right back into, like, the cryptos and stuff, the cryptos and stocks. So, like, for beginners, what do you think should be, like, certain, like the necessary steps for people to get into, like, either the stock market or even in the crypto, whether it's applications or whether it's just through the web, through the internet? What specific, like, steps do you think people should take to start off with the stock market and with the crypto exchange market?
So the first step would be first find something that you like, that you trust, and then you got to also go within your means. You know, so if don't spend your last savings on all your investments, right? You have to, because what you can do also, you pace it, because stocks was here before us and it's gonna be here after us, so it's gonna be here for a while. So you go at your own pace, and then there's certain things that you could do. You could just invest in S&P 500. So you could, if you could take, like, let's say if you're doing at a small scale, you could do at a small scale, like start putting $100 a month or $100 a week, like whatever you can afford, a small portion into, like, a S&P 500, which is like, now you can buy fractions of stocks. You don't have to have a whole $30,000, $20,000 to purchase stocks. So just like an S&P 500, which is like a lot of stocks into one. And what that would do is, you could do that for 20 years. Put $100, that could turn into over, $200K or up to $1 million. And that's like a safe way to do it. And try to stay away from option plays in the beginning. Some people do very well with options. But option is more like it's like a time frame where you're saying that the stock is going to hit a certain price, and if it don't hit that price within that time frame, you're either going to lose all your money that you invested in, or you're going to make a lot of money. So that's how the option plays. But try to stay, if you don't understand options, in a safer way, is trying to own some stocks. Stocks that has a high market cap, like Apple, Tesla, Amazon, and you could put a few dollars a month or a week or whatever you can afford. Just make sure it's not your last. And if you have an income, it's like a steady cash flow, you could actually that could be a good way for you to invest. So yeah, and just try to think long term. So if you think long term, you'll do very well.
Okay. That sounds good. So with that, like, all right. So perfect example with that, like, even with the question I was just asking right now, with what would be the perfect step to take? My suggestion on it is to review each and every stock that you're investing in.
Mm-hmm.
So a way you can do it is you can go on Robinhood, and you can actually go through you can go through the dates and see from like 3 months ahead of like prior to it either going low or going high. You can see what rate it was specifically at.
Yeah.
From there, or you could go a month back, a year back, or 2 years back to see it.
Yeah.
So that's something that my brother taught me how to do. Because usually I used to just like, if I hear something on the news, I'm thinking it's dope. All right, cool. Let me go ahead and throw in this money in it. Maybe it's gonna go up, maybe it's not. I was doing that and I lost like over $7,000. So what I started doing was, he was like, yo, invest in the certain things that people need, like utilities and stuff like that. What are things that people need? Gas and stuff like find something that people use on a day-to-day basis, and you invest in that. But before you do, make sure you don't invest in it when the stock has
Reaches peak. Yeah.
Not do that.
Right. Yeah.
Wait for it to break. Once it goes down, that's the best time to buy. And when you buy, you keep.
Yeah, it's called buy the dip. Yeah.
Exactly. So he always said that. And he was like, yo, you should also look into like long-term investments. So my suggestion with it, don't be quick to just throw money in it because it's all over social media. Everybody's talking about it and telling you, oh, yo, this is it.
Yeah, do your due diligence.
Study.
Yeah.
You really got to freaking read about this shit and learn what the fuck you are putting your money into.
And it is your money, so you might want to ask yourself where it's going to.
Yeah. And it's crazy because the same thing even applies to even like the crypto market. Same thing too. You can still literally review each crypto and see how they were doing 3 years ago, a year ago, a month ago, 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago.
Yeah, you can look at the charts.
Exactly, before you put your money into it, so then you know what to expect. And what I was doing, like I'd say the two main things that I invested in with the crypto was XRP. And
XRP.
Yeah, XRP, and then also with Stellar Lumens, which is XLM.
Okay.
So those were the main two things that I invested in. XLM it's not really that expensive. It's very low. It's under 25 cents.
It's only on Coinbase though, right?
No, it's everywhere.
Oh, okay.
You can find it everywhere. Now XRP is the tricky one. XRP is not on Coinbase. So New York has a lot of regulations, which stops you from buying
certain cryptos.
Yeah, so XRP, there's ways to get it. You might have to go out of state, but there's ways to get it. Allegedly, there's ways. So I had like a chain of like probably you could say like around 20,000 shares of XRP, and this is when like the price is like under probably like 50 cents.
Oh wow!
And I obtained that for like around five and up, and it skyrocketed to like over $60,000. And this happened when it was the pandemic era at that time. So like it just boosted up, boom, made mad money.
Your account.
Yeah. Like made mad money. I wanted to withdraw everything, but I was like, nah, let me keep it because XRP is not one of those short-term investments where you just throw money into and you think it's gonna.
So
you take your money out.
So it went up to 60,000. You didn't cash out.
I didn't cash out.
Okay.
I let it go, and that shit dropped.
Yeah,
it dropped big time. So I regretted it, but then again, too, looking back at it, right? It's like you live and you learn from your mistakes in certain situations. And at certain times, when you see something that's at its peak too, take this shit the fuck out.
Yeah, but you gotta know when is the peak.
Or sometimes,
that's the hard part. Yeah,
exactly. Or sometimes you take a percentage out.
Right.
Yeah. And that percentage, you use that to invest in other
things. Yeah, right.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, because if you would have cashed out, it dropped, you would have bought the same amount.
Exactly. I would have bought the same amount just to get back in.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of predictions with XRP. People are predicting that XRP is the next Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin in a few years, it's not really going to be there anymore.
A few decades, you would say. Because then it peaked at $20K in 2012. I remember that. Because next thing it was like at $100. Then it just went up to $20K.
There was a time it went up to over 35,000.
Yeah, well, its peak was 64,000. Because I have friends who
XRP went up.
yeah, I have friends who bought it at 64,000.
Oh no.
So they've been panicking ever since. You know, so I was like, well, one thing you don't want to do now is once it goes down to a certain amount, you might as well just keep it in there because you're just gonna take that. You don't want to take a 40K loss on that, or you know, some people bought multiple. A lot of my friends bought multiple, and yeah, at 60, I'm like, you waited till 60? When it was 20, they was looking at
Like,
when it was $100, they was like, okay, whatever.
see, me, how I looked at it too was like, all right, things like XRP or like XLM, which is why I would tell people to study when it comes to it. Look at what these things are invested into. XRP is something that's like, it's with Ripple, so that's something that's gonna last long. That's not something that's quick. It's like a long gate. You don't really know. A long gate is iffy. We don't know where the hell long gate comes from. So XRP is not like that. XRP is with Ripple and everything. Now you look at certain things like XLM. Whenever XRP goes up, XLM also increases also. So they're both linked to each other. Now you look at a certain thing. Look at pretty sure y'all both know Akon, right?
Yeah, Akon, yeah.
So perfect example.
That coin shit that he
So
had.
Akon got his own coin called Acoin, right? Now, this is the funny part about Acoin, right? So he's building his city right now. When that city is done, people are gonna you're not gonna be able to use cash. You're gonna be using Acoin,
which makes sense.
Acoin is under XLM.
Ah, okay.
See that?
Okay.
So, for you to even get an Acoin, you have to purchase XLM, just like how Ethereum, you have Ethereum to transfer to other crypto exchanges to be able to use it. So, with Acoin, so you basically got to buy XLM, and then from XLM, you're going to also convert it into Acoin to be able to use it. So, you can only imagine that when his cities is done, and he's creating 2 cities right now.
In Senegal, right?
Yeah. So no, he got one in Senegal and he got another one in another place. It's like I don't know if it's Zimbabwe or any other place like that. So when that city is completed, you can only imagine how much that stock, like these cryptos are going to increase. The value of it is going to go up completely from that. That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah, I mean,
from what I've seen so far.
Okay.
Because it's something that people have been waiting for right now for the past 8 years now.
Yeah, but how is he actually building it though?
He already got Acoin.
No, I know he got Acoin. I'm saying, is he actually building his cities though?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, bro, the dude has gotten $1 billion credit
from China, yeah.
From China,
yo, Akon, you need to holler at me.
Akon right now is up right now, man, and he's enjoying life.
Yeah.
He's literally enjoying life. He's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
So let's see. What is another question that we can say here? So what are the best strategies that you think are needed for like investing in crypto and stocks?
The best strategies?
Yeah. Like what is your strategy that you actually use to get into it?
Well, to stocks, the strategies I use is pretty much the same. I study the stocks. I look at I still study the charts. I look at the price point to see if it's reached its peak, and if it hasn't reached its peak, I look at the margin to see when is a good time for me to get in. So like right now, a lot of stocks are at a discounted rate. So and
Been plummeting down.
yeah, so they're plummeting down. So that's pretty much like my basic fundamental strategy. You know.
So you said a lot of stocks are at a discounted rate.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Exactly?
So what that means is it's natural price. So because some stocks did a stock split, like Tesla did a stock split, I believe. I think Apple did one also.
Yeah.
So and Amazon also was the latest that did a stock split. So what a discounted price is, I'm sure during the pandemic, you guys seen the price of Tesla and Amazon. It was like almost over $1,000.
Yeah, and then
now it's like at $100 under $200.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by the discounted rate.
Okay.
You know, so from 3,000 to 200, that's a big
Big
difference.
difference, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Yeah.
so that's what I mean by the discounted rate.
All right.
So you said about the discounted rate, and let's see. I believe we got 1 or 2 questions here.
Okay.
So, like, matter of fact, let me ask you another question too. Like, do you have like a course that you have for people to like take, at least to learn about these